Vladivostok was the name of the city that I was born in. And it's right on the border with China, kind of across from Japan, and all the way on the far east of Russia. And I lived there until I turned 16 and a half. Then I packed my bags and I said, Arrivederci, everybody. The world is calling my name. See, even as a kid, I had this travel bug. I really wanted to see the world. And I grew up in a very simple family. We had everything we required, and we lived very simply. I was raised by a single mother who had me when she was 22 years old. It's hard for me to wrap my mind around um, that generation had children at such a young age. So my mom raised me and my sister by herself, often working two jobs, and yeah, just trying to survive. So it was a very, very simple life. And I always dreamt about different possibilities. And I figured if I learned the language that I can speak in any country in the world, I would be able to go to any country in the world. That was my logic at 7 years old. And I began looking for opportunities to learn English. And thankfully, there were some parents who were offering English studies after school, and I was always there. And English came to me so naturally, as if I remembered it from a past life. And then I began to study English from books and tapes. It was way, 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 way before the internet. It's almost how many years ago? It's almost 3 decades ago. I am turning 40 this year. So it was a long time ago, before the internet, before Rosetta Stone. If you wanted to learn a language, you really had books and tapes. And my strategy was also to spot a foreigner in my hometown and just approach them and talk to them. So I remember when I was 12 years old, Russia began to have this flood of American missionaries, because Soviet Union were deprived of spirituality and religion. And the moment the Soviet Union collapsed and the borders were opened, all these religious organizations began sending their missionaries to enlighten Russians. And Russians were really hungry for the message of hope and connection to source, connection to spirit. So I remember hearing English speaking people on the street coming up to them and say, hey, do you have a daughter or a son of my age? I would like to be their pen pal. And they would say, of course. And I would become friends with their children, and I would practice my English by writing letters. And it was a great lesson for me at a really, really early age. Create your own opportunities. Have what you have in front of you, right? Some people have what looks like more opportunities in the beginning of life, and some people not so many. But it's all about being resourceful in the moment. So I practiced my English by writing letters to my pen pals, and then I began volunteering as an interpreter and as a translator for all the foreigners that were flooding my hometown. So English came very, very natural for me. Soon I was translating for hours, and it was a lot of joy for me. And at one point, I even wanted to become a translator. So it taught me a huge lesson that it's all about being resourceful. It's all about looking for the opportunities that are always around us, and then going for your dream. If you always wanted to see the world like I did when I was a little girl, it's right now in this age where we have internet, where we have connection, right? Where we have global reach, really, there is no limits of what is possible to create. So I wanted to share with you a little bit of my story and where I grew up, because I've lived in the US for almost 15 years. I came to this country with huge, huge dreams and with very, very humble beginnings. You know, I literally, when I arrived to this country, I had $3 left to start my life. I had a job waiting for me. I was one of those students exchange programs where you can apply and come for the summer and work and save money for your college. So the only job I was able to get was housekeeping in Alaska. And I remember I put everything on the line for this program, you know, my ticket, my admission fee and everything. It cost a lot, especially for European students. And when I arrived to Alaska, to Juneau, the capital of Alaska, I didn't realize I had to take one more flight. And I counted my money, praying that I have enough. And I had exactly enough to take the last step of my journey. And I had $3 left, not knowing what I'm going to eat, because my first paycheck is 2 weeks away, right? But also what it taught me is how the universe protects and guides you, that you always have what you require to take the next step. I remember I felt so victorious coming off that plane, you know, dragging my little suitcase, walking to the hotel because I had no money to take a taxi. And thank goodness it was a small town. You can easily walk to the hotel. If you've ever been to Skagway, Alaska, it's a town of one grocery store, right? And it was a big lesson because I felt victorious and I felt nothing is impossible. I have made it to US. Somebody gave me a job, and the universe will continue to open the doors. And it was precisely that, because my employee who gave me a job of housekeeping, he was kind of like an angel sent me from above. And he was able to lend me a couple of $100 before my first paycheck. And I remember I was so, so grateful for, you know, this continuous support of the universe. And at that time, I was already working on my second degree, and, you know, starting in this country from washing the floors, cleaning the rooms, I did it with a lot of gratitude and joy, because I never saw that, you know, some job is below me. You know, you just do what it takes to build a life in a new country. And for me, it was a humble beginning, but it taught me a lot of patience, a lot of humility, and a lot of dedication, you know. And by the end of that summer, I have met so many people who opened up new opportunities and new possibilities for me. I started a job at a gift shop, and I was spotted by an owner of a jewelry shop who was a founder of that shop. And he looked at me and he saw me, how I was engaging with the customers, and he said, if you sell Christmas ornaments like this, I would love to offer you a job. Come back next summer and work at my jewelry store, and I'll teach you how to sell diamonds. And I did. Next year, I came back and I worked for that person. And at the end of the summer, he put me in charge of his jewelry store. So many stories I can share with you like this, where life would ask me to start in a humble way and to accept, you know, what looked like a simple job, a simple project. And because of my willingness to be patient and to be devotional in whatever was trusted to me, bigger and bigger opportunities would open up. So fast forward now, 15 years since I came to US, I am so blessed to do the work that I love and to build a real thriving business based on what I love to do and the way I love to do it, helping others to unlock their greatest potential, their greatest gift, their greatest power. And I love sharing the stories because sometimes people look at me like this and they say, oh, Katerina, you know, you always been like this. And I say, no, you don't, you know, I wish I could show you. I wish I had a picture of me at 17 years old, leaving the house of my parents, and 23 coming with my $3. But that was the time we didn't have iPhone, we didn't have even internet. So I have those memories deep in my heart, and I'm sharing the story to inspire you to be faithful in small and to trust that when you show up with a great attitude and with humility, the universe will continue to support your steps towards your higher and higher destiny. Because our true purpose, our true calling unfolds in layers. We are being given tests and trials to purify our character, to teach us persistence and resilience. But every single person carries a deeper calling, a deeper assignment, a unique gifts to offer to the world. So believe in that and never give up. Trust everything that life brings to you at your door right now. I hope this video inspires you, brought a smile to your heart. If you'd like to connect with me, you can connect with me on Facebook, Katerina Satori, or on my website. And if you are visiting my website, download a free audio journey, 21 Days of Present. It's my gift to you. It's a collection of audios that I recorded. They're 5 minutes long, and they will help you uplift your energy and see your life in a new way. Thank you for spending this time with me, and I will see you soon.